Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to another Dark Avengers comic book review. Unfortunately, we could not shoot this comic review on or before Christmas because we got these comic books on Christmas Eve, and it was a lot of reading. Believe me guys, a lot of reading. At least 20 comics in this pile, and even with Mike's help it took a long time to read, especially because it came on the 24th, so you guys know Christmas Eve to Christmas, busiest time of the year. However, we finished. It's the day after Christmas. I hope you guys got all the things you wanted, everything you wanted. I was going to switch all with everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed your holidays. And we're back now with the week of the 21st comic books, December 2011. First off, I want to just jump right into this. And by the way, for those of you who are going to be nitpicking, yes, I know I've been wearing this shirt throughout the past like 6 or 7 videos. Don't worry, next video there will be a new shirt, okay? I'm enjoying the shirt. It's only been 2 days. Relax. First off, old comics. Got this because Dan Jurgens was on board with this, and I did not know he actually wrote this comic or drew this comic ever. Sensational Spider-Man #0 with the. This is the limited edition one with the lithograph that does come off, and then you have the regular Spider-Man. I get that this is definitely going to end up on the wall. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this at some point. We're going from old to new. That was 1995. We're jumping into 1999. The 80-page giant that I did not get, but now I'm glad I did get it, of 1 million. It is in fine condition, of course. And then jumping into even closer times, somebody mentioned this book to me a long time ago. I was skeptical about buying it. I got it for like $2. I figured, why not? The first story was the second story, the reprint, was the best part of this entire book in my opinion. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, mostly because of the artwork. It's the giant-sized Wolverine. So. And then these came out this week, so now we're getting into the week of December 21st, 2011. The last 2 superhero collection magazines in the Blackest Night, Brightest Day set, number 15, which is Lissa Dark. I hope I said her name right. These are alien names after all. And here's the figure or statue or whatever you'd like to consider these. I consider these little tiny miniature statues. And this book was a pain in the ass to get connected to this figure. That's the first. Let me push these forward a bit so this can go up. And then concluding the entire set, because it says so in the back here, thanks to all our fans for collecting Blackest Night, Brightest Day series. Sadly, this is our last issue, but please come back and get the run. You know, they're advertising for the DC run now. And this one is Aricia. And that's the end of the Blackest Night, Brightest Day series. I'll definitely be coming back for the DC Heroes collection. There's a Superboy one coming out, I believe, in a month or 2. And I'm sure there'll be others in between here and there that I'll be like, ooh, I want that, and I'll throw it in there also. Okay, let's get into the new comic books this week for the 21st.
Hello.
Yeah, he had to wear that hat. I told you guys unboxing that Mike was going to like that hat.
It's only going to be the one time I wear it, but I'm really liking it.
Yeah, and because we're down here, I decided to just do a Christmas haul video. I'll probably do that. It'll either be uploaded right before this comic review or after it, depending on how I feel. But I'll just get the stuff I got for Christmas, the books and the games and DVDs and stuff, and I'll put it in there because there was too much to carry down because we live upstairs from this location. So anyway, Ghostbusters #4. I'm going to give you guys the briefiest of briefies here. Ray is being forced to choose a new form for Gozer. The Ghostbusters formulate a plan, go save Ray just in time so Ray can could pick the Marshmallow Man once again for Gozer. Gozer gets really pissed off. They use the super trap him, the end. Ghostbusters win. However, Walter Peck shows up in the end and they're like, we'll bill you, and he says that as of now there's a physical requirement for all 4 of the Ghostbusters, and if all 4 or one of them doesn't fulfill that requirement, the city does not have to pay them anymore. I hate Walter Peck. Always hated him. Always will. This comic book just continues to solidify that feeling towards Walter Peck. Okay, we are now officially 4 issues in. We're done with the first story. We're done with Gozer. Now, writers, please stay away from the first movie. Move forward into some new material. or else I'm probably going to end up dropping this book. I'll tolerate it for the first story, but after that, I'm looking for something new now. Like back when they did it in Infestation #1. Understand they did use the Marshmallow Man, but it was a different story at least. The cartoony artwork is okay. Once again, it's holding me for a while. It's going to hold me till the next story at least, so we'll see what happens there. Got the wrong cover, of course, because Midtown misadvertised. They advertised the painted cover with the wrong artist name, so I picked the wrong cover, unfortunately. But Ghostbusters is doing pretty good. So now hopefully they'll move away from the movies. Now, Book of the Week. I know we just started this comic review, but absolutely Book of the Week. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, #5. It is a standalone. If you haven't been reading TMNT, don't worry. Pick this issue up and you'll be fine. Tell me that this isn't. Yeah, it is. I'm going to have to get a new cover. I'll get a new cover. It's fine. You can get this and it continues the next story. We jump from present to past, and it's during Christmas time. So at least they're sticking with the times now. It starts off here with Hamada Yoshi and Oroku Saki. So this is basically the retelling of the Foot Clan, how Oroku Saki develops into the Shredder, and how he basically Hamada Yoshi leaves the Foot because he knows the Foot's going down a dark path. The Foot attacks his home, kills his wife, but Hamada Yoshi and his family escape, and they live for a couple of years in solitude, safe from the Foot Clan, until Shredder and the Foot Clan find them. They assassinate the children, and then right before Hamada Yoshi is killed, he says, I'll see you soon, and I'll be getting my revenge. And Oroku Saki's like, that's impossible because you're going to be dead, and he dies. So what they're trying to say is basically, Splinter is the reincarnation of Hamada Yoshi. I'm not completely sure if the Turtles are the reincarnation of his 4 sons, though. That is left up in the air at the moment. However, I'm led to believe that Splinter is the reincarnation of Hamada Yoshi. That's what they make you. That's at least what they're making me feel. Also, in other spots, the Turtles finally. Before I get to that, the Turtles finally get their colored bandanas.
I like it.
Splinter says the reason they're all wearing red is because they wanted to find their lost brother, but now that they found their lost brother, there's no need for all of them to be wearing red anymore. So this kind of takes away the all red bandanas from the Volume 1 and brings in the colored bandanas from Volume 2 and the cartoon series that we all know and love so much.
Now we know who's saying who now.
Exactly.
The name.
And instead of Raphael getting a new headband, because his headband already is red, he gets his size, which is really awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Also, Casey's having trouble with his grades because, of course, he's a crime fighter in the nights and probably, he works during the day. And he's threatened to be kicked off the football team. But at the same time, April is looking to make extra money. Apparently, she's a student. I must have misunderstood the whole fact. She probably was an intern at the science lab. So she put her number up for tutoring, and 2-to-1 Casey Jones is going to get it, and that's how their relationship is going to begin to develop. So in the very end, it's the Turtles with Splinter learning more about their past, which I'm sure will be in the next issue. Casey is visiting his mother's grave, and April is with her mother, and that's where they leave off. Well, they actually leave off with Splinter about to tell a tale, and that's probably what's going to happen in the next issue, continuing with the Hamada Yoshi and the Oroku Saki.
I also hear they're making a paperback of...
they're making a trade paperback of the first 4 issues, so if you guys missed out on the first 4 issues, wait for that. The cover art on the next issue kind of reminds me a bit of TMNT. I just hope the internal artwork does not change because I'm really loving
I read this too,
the internal artwork.
I have to admit, it was a great story. And, I see Splinter as the real role model and a father figure.
Fogger, huh?
Bleh, listen to me. To the Turtles, and I really like Splinter. He's a very interesting character that is very friendly and all that.
Yeah, and in the end it says Happy Holidays from IDW Publishing and Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon apparently is helping sponsor the TMNT return to comic books.
I didn't know Nickelodeon was part of it, but...
Nickelodeon owns the contract for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now. And then you get some artwork. Michelangelo next week is the one shot
That
there.
I will definitely be reading.
They're releasing IDW. Ooh, they're releasing Outbreak on trade paperback, but I don't need that. Infestation #1, the full first ever mega event, is going to all be collected in the hardcover, and Infestation 2 is coming in January, so that's going to be interesting. Book of the week. Love this series. I would absolutely recommend every single one of these 5 issues, plus the micro series Raphael. I know I suggested it to Cody, and he got it, and he didn't do a review on it yet, but from what I'm hearing from him, I've never stirred him wrong yet with a comic book, so I'm taking a wild shot in the dark here and guessing he loved it. This was really good. Great character development, great solidification of the past, staying true to as much as can be kept true to with Hamada Yoshi and Oroku Saki. Shredder is getting his bring back, now he's getting his revamp, so to speak, and his return. I'm really loving this series. Absolutely 100% recommend this. IDW has released 2 series that I recommend highly to everyone, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Lock and Key. Ghostbusters pulls in a hard third, but once again, I want to see how they're going to develop away from the movie before I can recommend it or not. Book he read that I'm dropping, Venom #11. It's just gotten to the point where, you know what, especially when you read the old books, Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
You think Venom, you think Eddie Brock, you think out of control.
But they use Flash Thompson, and it's like when I read this, it really doesn't fit the Venom story.
Feel.
Yeah. And then you get like this thing where he's talking with Jacqueline, and
it's Jack-O-Lantern's origin in this book, basically.
Yeah, and then he says how he's a little bit of a, the way he is now, like not the person that he wants to be. There was actually one part where they had to go save those men in that place. What was it called? Can't remember.
The artwork was pretty good. It's just
and the Avengers
are going after Venom now. We didn't see that coming.
The cave, because the men were trapped under there, and Jack-O-Lantern kills one of the men that was not going to live. And
you said there was one part where you had to put the comic down for a second. I don't.
Oh yeah, they were like talking about there was like the story, but it was like the part where Flash Thompson was having a little bit of a
internal struggle.
Yeah, like an internal struggle, and when he made a phone call wondering if everything's alright and all that. But when I hear Venom, I really think of Eddie Brock, but now I can understand why you're not really.
He's like, I want the suit, but I don't want the suit. I want.
Oh, that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like he's like saying, I don't need the suit, but I really need it for this because it keeps me going. It's like, either get rid of the suit or just.
I thought the whole cutting off Flash Thompson's leg when they did the Spidey redo.
Oh yeah.
Because of Mephisto.
Yeah.
Was kind of bad. I don't think they should have done that to Flash. I think Flash should still have both of his legs. I think that's kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to pick up if you like Venom and if you're wanting to know about Flash.
I'm not interested. I'm dropping it.
It's up to you guys.
Michael doesn't like it. I don't.
No.
I'm not finding any real big interest in it. There's Scarlet Spider-Man coming. That's what this is going to substitute. They're both going to be the same price, so this is what's going to go from Marvel for Scarlet. Another book that I'm just going to get now till the end. I really have no opinion of it. X-23 number, what is it now? 19. It's going to be going longer than Daken. I'm just not interested. The babysitting story's over. She fights this guy called the Collector. Finally, her and this guy, I forgot his name, from the X-Men make out, and she's like, I have no feelings for you whatsoever. I just don't feel anything for you. And then she's talking to Remy about how you know about love and shit like that. And it's just, it's run its course, in my opinion, X-23. Maybe the next story it'll get better. Next story she goes back with Jubilee to Utopia and she makes her decision, which we all know she's in Avengers Academy, so she's not going to be on either side. It's just, I guess now it's just the path from where she is now to when she joined the Avengers Academy, because I'm going to be getting this till the end, like I said, because it's only going to make it to, like, so far I'm guessing April, which is only 4 more issues, so 4 more months of X-23. So I'll live with it for now, but to be quite honest, I can't really recommend X-23 anymore. It's just, she was a trained assassin. I agree with what Scott Kirstenbaum said. She was an assassin. She was cloned from Wolverine to be the ultimate killing machine, and she's babysitting the Fantastic Four's kids and protecting them from some crazy collector guy. Another book that I'm dropping as soon as this is over, I'm done, 601 of Fantastic Four. Notice who's not on the cover anymore. Spidey. You know why? Because 2-1 he's going to get the boot once Forever is over with. Let me give you the full rundown of this story. Johnny's back. He has the Omega, the whatever wave, the Annihilation wave. Black Bolt comes back and saves the day. Now debris falling towards Earth. The end.
That's it?
Still really doesn't solve much for me. Still doesn't solve that much for me.
You know,
and Spider-Man has like the smallest of small roles. He's the one that's holding whatever that guy, Annihilus on his leash.
Yeah, but they should keep Spider-Man on the team as an extra hand, because I know they're called Fantastic Four, but just because, you know, you could have some of a helping hand, because Spider-Man was always there.
I don't know, but
I'm the death of that.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Spider-Man 1991 though. I'm gonna get this just because I know if I stop right here, especially when there's only 3 more parts of this shit, that I'm gonna regret it in years to come, just because I want to know how this shit ends and how it's finished. Once it's finished, I'm finished. I'm never picking up another Fantastic Four book again. No more Fantastic Four forever. That's it.
Oh,
the end. Done. Forever is forever killing my liking of Fantastic Four. Another book where I just want to know how this happened finally, The Incredible Hulk 3. Hulk is fighting 27 and 26, which are these 2 boars that have the gamma radiation put in them. And in the end, basically, the 26 says that you'll never be safe. Banner's going to keep coming for you, so anything you know, anything you love is in danger. You're putting them in danger. So, they get their asses handed to them, and Hulk shows back up, and he says, I'll help you destroy Banner, but one thing, I want to be the one that kills Banner. And then you get a little bit of a flashback, and you see Hulk and Banner separated. We still don't know exactly how it happened or who did it, but we finally get an idea of, we're starting to see little flashbacks leading into how it happened. I just want to know how it happened, and then from there, after I know how they split, I'll see if I want to stick with this or not. Being honest with you though, this is holding on by a thread. So if it's stupid, no offense, we've seen the whole Bruce Banner and Hulk separated before, and now Bruce Banner is this crazy scientist. I'll show you guys the last page, because by now you know what happened, because Spidey already mentioned it. I'll mention it here. He's like, well, they think I'm crazy. We'll show them I'm not so crazy after all. Yeah, the backup, the things that you've created behind you, Bruce, yeah, that kind of says a different story.
Pretty much.
And next issue is Hulk versus all the hulked up, juiced up animals that Bruce has on his island before he finally gets to Bruce Banner. But at some point, you know, these two are going to end up having to merge back together, or something's going to go wrong, and they're both going to fuse back together. It's inevitable.
Do you think they're going to ever merge back together?
It's inevitable. It's inevitable, or somehow Bruce Banner's going to turn back into the Hulk again. He'll find a way to Hulk out again. He won't like it anymore, but he's going to be stuck as the Hulk again, and he's going to kill the Hulk that's been released from his body. There's going to be some way where Bruce Banner's going to be the Hulk, and they're both going to be one person again. We just don't know how yet. And it's a relaunch number. So.
Well, we'll just wait and see.
But yeah, this is holding me on by a thread to this story. No offense, it's taking a very slow pace. I understand it's only the 3rd issue, but it's a very slow pace. Another book that's on a kind of slow pace, Daken Dark Wolverine number 18. Unfortunately, this is ending though. There's one more issue to go in this storyline before they go into their last story for Daken Dark Wolverine. In this story, Daken goes to the Runaways. Finally, now, and it's not even on the cover. In the last issue, it said guest starring the Runaways. This issue, they don't even say it, but in this issue, the Runaways play a major role. Dawkins trying to convince the Runaways that he needs their help because he needs help against somebody from the Pride. They think he's there from the Pride, sent him to kill them. So there's a bit of a fight, and finally they read his mind, and they realize that he's fighting, I forgot his name. Great. Rustin. And one of the Runaways actually know him as Uncle Cliff, they called him. Weird Uncle Cliff. And basically in the end they decide they're gonna look into Daken, but they'll help him. So he's got his little army Daken goes to Agent Keel and tries to stop her from committing suicide because she can't take the addiction to the heat pills. Daken says, I beat it, you can too. And in the end, Rustin shows up, and so do the Runaways. The Runaways go after Rustin to be concluded. And in the last lines, Daken say, I have my army. My army is assembled. So we'll see what happens in the next issue, where it's going to end the whole LA thing, and then we're going to go into Daken's last plan before he dies. Invincible Iron Man 511. Mandarin and Ezekiel's plan is now in effect. They have subpoenaed for Iron Man's, the last 2 months, I believe, of Iron Man, or 90 days of Iron Man's bio readout, which is going to prove that he was drunk during the Fear Itself. And he just now tells Pepper and everybody else that he was drunk that one time, but he wasn't drunk anymore. It actually says Tony Stark is 4 days sober, so this takes place 4 days after Fear Itself. And everybody's starting to judge him. He's like, you know what, screw this. He walks out and he leaves. He's heading to New York to be with the Avengers to help clear his head. And the human laser shows up. Ezekiel and Mandarin are talking, and they notice the crack in Tony Stark's unibeam. And now, guys, don't forget, the arc reactor is keeping him alive. So they send the human laser out to break it. And spoiler alert, he does. And in only a matter of minutes, he's going to be going into cardiac arrest. But people are surrounding him in New York, and instead of helping him, they're just taking pictures. Once again, this makes Tony Stark look really, really bad. And he's about to go into cardiac arrest. The human laser shows up at Ezekiel's door, and he's like, I'm done, I've done my work, I'm going to leave. And he's like, no, we're all slaves to Mandarin. He has this bomb that he could set us, and he could blow us all up. And it's a good thing that you did your job right, because if Iron Man came, he would have known it was me. He would have killed me, I would have killed you, and Mandarin would have gotten away scot-free. Really good development. I feel bad I dropped this series. Wish I can go back and trade paperback the Stark Resilient one where I dropped it. I might be able to. I think it was only about 5 or 6 issues. Shouldn't be that much to catch up on. That or I'll just trade paperback the whole thing. I believe there's 2. The Fear Itself and the Stark Resilient. So I'd have to trade paperback, but that's not too hard. I'm really liking it. The artwork is really awesome. Let's see if I can give you guys a good piece of artwork.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a good piece of artwork. That's the human laser attacking Tony. Pepper does go up in front of the board, and they are talking about like there was a global catastrophe, no one would dare be drunk, and Pepper's like, I don't care what, I don't care who you are or what the bylaws permit you to do. Gallivanting, crisis times, get the hell out of here. In other words, yeah, he was drunk that one day, but that was that, or at least that's what I was getting. They have a word of concern because of the way, because of the whole Tony Stark. They're concerned about the way Stark Resilient is going to be portrayed because of this lawsuit with Tony being drunk, and what the ramifications will be to their, because they're funding this program. And she's like, listen, get the hell out of here. It's Tony Stark. Don't worry about it. And that's where they're leaving you off here. We'll see what happens next time with Iron Man, because now his arc reactor is off. So he's about ready to go into cardiac arrest. So we'll see where that leads. Now this book Mike read because it did not involve the main character. The now dubbed World's Greatest Superhero. It's on every single Amazing Spider-Man now. Amazing Spider-Man 676. The World's Greatest Superhero.
Yep.
Dubbed right at the top. Now you read this because I had too much to read. So
yes.
Wait, let's see if there's... oh yeah, this time.
So in this comic book, you have 2 people going against one another. You got the Sinister Six against the Intellectua. Well, I think that's how you say it.
That's MODOK's people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing though. Doc Ock.
They're making him look worse and worse.
Oh my God! When I saw this, I was like...
I didn't even look at that book yet. I'm going to read this after the review.
This is Doc Ock, everyone. Right here in this...
Now, let me help you.
Yeah, in this panel. I was like, what?
Yeah, apparently Spider-Man beat him over the head too many times. I forgot to mention this to you. And now he can't use his body anymore, and he's slowly dying.
Yes, so now they're going after the Intellectuas.
Why?
because of their like there's this plan that they want to take over before the Sinister Six does.
Oh, so now they're in competition to see who's going to take over the world
Right, and
first.
MODOK wants to activate the device to take over the world.
Okay.
And now the Sinister Six is going there to stop. They use a monkey. I thought that was
A
kind
monkey?
of as a the design and all that.
Why is MODOK... Oh, was MODOK always bald?
Yeah, they actually have him like that. I think they're doing showing him more because he's like the least favorite Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So because I didn't know MODOK.
I really have no interest in MODOK. I find him more of a comedic kind of...
Yeah, but there's a fight and Chameleon like tricked him and.
Who was Chameleon? Chameleon was playing as who?
Can't remember. I read this in the.
Oh, he's playing as that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, on the Intellectuals team. Then you get Doc Ock and MODOK of the device saying who could do better, mind versus mind, basically.
Well, Doc Ock is pretty smart.
Then MODOK, yeah, I have to admit that. And then in the end of the issue, we get the whole. How it happened now? Like there was just the whole thing where it was just basically a draw, and where Doc Ock.
Well, it looks like Doc Ock's leaving with the Sinister Six, so technically, if you really want to talk about the upper hand, it looks like they got it.
Basically, and I like how they say, we did this because we had to after all. We couldn't let the Insula take over the world in 2011, not when we're taking over in 2012.
This is all a lead up to the ends of the world.
Yeah, I mean...
What's the next issue? Oh, the next issue is the Devil in the Details.
Yeah.
What that is basically Amazing Spider-Man's going to cross over with Daredevil, and I'm going to have to get Daredevil, and that might actually be my jumping on point for Daredevil. I might check out Daredevil. I'm looking into getting issue 7, because a lot of people are talking good about it.
But I liked it. I would say...
Welcome back, finally, to reading Amazing Spider-Man. Now Mike has no excuse. He started reading it again. Now you can start reading it again.
Yeah, it's okay, but, you know...
So Mike's finally back in the comic book that started him in comic collecting. Finally.
Now, look, Spider-Man is #1, but it's just, you know... I'm just expecting, though, in the next issue that I see Spider-Man.
We'll see in the next issue.
Yeah,
You're reading, finally, the next issue.
Yeah, so...
Do we have enough?
Ooh.
No, we do
Gotta go
not.
back in the calendar.
Okay, in the next part, we're going to finish off Marvel with the X-Books, right? X-Books only? X-Books and an Avenger book. And then we're going into DC Comics, where we can enjoy some more fun relaunch stuff. So, see you guys in part 2.